Attracting abundance. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how to have a mindset of abundance, what it actually means to have abundance, and how you can attract it more in your life, what happens if we think in scarcity, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about how I live in abundance and how I created the life that I'm currently living in the freedom that I have. And I'm going to be sharing about how to use the law of attraction to attract what you desire. So my name is Chantal and I empower women to step into their highest potential regarding self-love, coming in balance with themselves while dating and relating, finding your life purpose and manifesting your dream life. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to attract abundance. And first of all, what is abundance? And then what happens if we think in scarcity? How can we have a mindset of abundance and how do we do that? And I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about how I did that myself and how I created the abundance that I have till today. And I use the law of attraction by doing so I'll be sharing a little bit more about that. So what is abundance? Abundance is having a large quantity of something, having more than you actually need. And abundance can be think of in many different ways. You can have an abundance of time, abundance of money, abundance of love, of food. So abundance is in all different ways, and specifically today I want to be talking about abundance financially, but you can use the same teachings for any kind of abundance that you want to attract in your life. So there are no limitations of attracting it. So to attract abundance, to attract a large quantity of something, let's say about financials, like if you want to attract a lot of money, the law of attraction works in a way that we think as if we already have it. But what happens if we think in scarcity? So what I see around me is that a lot of people are struggling with money. They have a bad relationship with it. They have the feeling that it's something bad. They see people without it and even maybe themselves struggling not to have money. And it's that when you are in scarcity, that most of the time it's really hard to get out of scarcity and have a different mindset of abundance. I come from a family where we grew up without money. We sometimes even didn't have enough money for food. And, well, let's say the least, presents for Christmas weren't there. So I didn't grow up with a huge amount of money. Actually, the opposite. I grew up in scarcity. And somehow I knew a way to get to a point of abundance where I am today. So I'm here to share what happened to me and how to have that mindset of abundance. So what I see is that when you have a negative relationship with money, it's really affecting how things happen in your life. For me personally, money is energy. It's a tool or a means to exchange. And it's nothing more than a piece of paper, but in energy it means what you've done for it and what you give for it. And so thinking in the mindset of abundance and thinking in energy, it's really like a way to move energy. So in what way do you move energy, and what is the value of your energy? And what is the value of someone else's energy? And what I saw, especially with my work, from the moment that I started working, I said to myself, I'm never ever gonna have an empty fridge in my life. That will never happen to me again. I grew up like that, but that won't happen again. And somehow I knew, I got a good relationship with money. I wasn't scared to ask for money. I wasn't scared to say I'm gonna do this work and this is the amount of money that I want for this. And bit by bit I started to ask exactly what I wanted. But to do that, it's you have to cross certain boundaries within yourself or limiting beliefs regarding money. Because money is nothing. It's energy, like everything else is in the world. And if we have a negative relationship with it, because we live in scarcity, or when we are scared to ask money for certain things, or it limits our belief that we can live in abundance. So really living in abundance is the true feeling of trust that it will come. The true feeling that if you want to get a certain amount, for me it has never been related to having a certain amount. I know that the law of attraction and The Secret works that way. I've never worked with like, I want to have this amount of money. I wanted to have the freedom. I wanted to be valued for what I did in my work. I wanted to enjoy my life. And bit by bit, I started to value my energy more and more. And I asked more and more for the work that I did. So it's really about like having a mindset of abundance. It's really about like, okay, how do I value myself? It's all about self-worth and self-love, to see, okay, what is it that I'm asking for it? So if you relate it to energy and you think you have a negative relationship with money, it's actually because you have the feeling that the energy is working against you instead of with you. And in the law of attraction, it works the way, and like Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, and all these teachers are talking about this, how to raise your vibration to the frequency of what it is that you desire. So what I've always done is like I imagine and envision what it is that I want in the future. And it's never related to a certain number, but it's more like, okay, what is it that I want? I would like to work in a certain company, or I always said like I would like to give multinationals advice in their software infrastructures. Believe it or not, that was really what I wanted to do. And within 3-4 years, I was able to get from a regular salary to like earning almost $250,000 a year. And this was just because I envisioned and I imagined like really, what is it that if I would be there already? What would it be if I would sit in that position of that work? How would I feel? How would I behave? What would I do? So really like starting to envision and embody the feeling of having abundance. So to give you a good example, like I posted on Facebook that I wanted to rent out my apartment. Since I'm in Thailand, I thought I want to rent out my apartment because it gives me a little bit more time to set up my new coaching business. And I knew I would take a risk with this because it was unofficial, it was illegal. But I thought I could use the money and I could help someone at the same time. But then someone in my close friends got caught. And she got kicked out of her house and got a €12,000 fine with it. And then I started to think like, oh my goodness, this is a big fear of me to lose my house. I've never rented out my house before, especially not illegal. What shall I do? And then I thought, I believe in the law of attraction, so I can be like, okay, I can be in trust that I won't get caught. But still, it was like luring in my body, and it was like, what shall I do? And then I thought, what do I rather do? Because I do it actually for a little bit of money, do I rather think that the abundance will come? Or do I rather think that I won't get caught? It's both a trust place where you can be. The question is, where do you put your focus on? And it took me 2 days to reconsider, but I decided, like, for me, the reason that I wanted to rent it out is to have financially a little bit more space. But if I have trust that this finance and the money and the energy will come back to me, then I don't have to worry about it. And then I don't have to rent out my apartment. And eventually I decided not to rent out my apartment, not to take the risk of having a huge fine and losing my house. And I can be in trust of both, but I decided to think in abundance. I have trust, and I see it around me that the more I trust, the more new clients come to me, new requests for circles, new requests for workshops. And it's really like the idea and the trust that it will come, and already living as if it's already here. I'm spending money as I've always done. even though I'm like at the end of my savings. And I haven't been working for almost 2 years, and I'm still like enjoying my life as if nothing changed. And I keep doing that, and I'm giving money here and I donate there. It's just a mindset. I believe that it will come back, and the more I believe, the more I see that it comes back. The more trust, and the more people come on my path and giving me advice for certain things, and the road and the way is more clear. So to really have a mindset of abundance starts with the trust that it is a given fact. And to envision and embody that, you have to imagine initially, what does it feel like? If you would be in a place of abundance, how would that feel? How would you walk the streets? How would you spend? How would you dress? What would you do? It's really about that. How would you move when you are in that place already? Because all emotions related to something that we desire are already inside of us. So the only thing is that we have to tap into these emotions. And like when we feel this joy and this happiness and this freedom, we raise our vibration, we raise our frequency to the place as if we are already there. And therefore we attract it. I've seen it around me, and as I said, earning like 30,000 a year to $250,000 a year, it's a huge difference. And yet it was less in like 3-4 years I managed to do that just by trusting, not focusing on the number, but focusing on the freedom and abundance that it will be created. So that would be my tips for today. Start feeling and envisioning, embodying what it is that you desire. Start Googling about the law of attraction. Check out my other videos on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Please like if you do like this message. Share if you agree. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I can't wait to see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. With love.